Hello there and welcome to another action-packed edition of Football Everyday. Hello there, I am Zach, and in the studio with me we got the usual Football Everyday crew. We got Shabby. Hi mate.
Hiya.
Thanks for coming back on again.
No worries, Zach.
And we got a half-fit Nelson. I know last week he had a hamstring injury. This week he's got a bit of an eye problem, but like a trooper that he is, he's back on the show. Nels, nice one mate.
Good to be back.
I tell you what, we've got lots to get through today, so on with the football chat. Yesterday saw the culmination of the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and you know what? 3 English teams have made it to the last 4. Shep, mate, this is turning out to be an all-English affair every year, the Champions League, right?
I think Michel Platini is going to be very upset again.
Yes, yes, indeed.
But again, I mean, you've got to be good to be at this level, and the English teams have proven once again that the Premier League is the strongest league, perhaps, in Europe right now, and they deserve to be there. I think I've been very surprised by the resurgence in Chelsea's form. Arsenal with Fabregas coming back were always going to step up a level, and Man United, I think, finally seemed to get it right against Porto, and I thought, you know, Ronaldo's goal was just out of this world.
Right, cracker, it certainly was. But I tell you what, right, this sets it up nicely because we got 2 excellent games to look forward to in the Champions League semi-final. I tell you what, Shep, right, Arsenal versus Man United over 2 games.
Oh,
that's getting me going.
It's difficult. It's very, very difficult to call.
Right.
You know, you look at the strengths and the weaknesses. Yes, if there is a weakness in the Arsenal team, it's the defense. If there's a weakness in the Man United team, it's the defense. You know, does that mean we're going to get a 4-4? I don't think so.
Right.
Overall, I would say Man United have got a stronger squad, and the experience of having played at that level on a regular basis will be a big help. Tactics will count for a lot on that day. So I would think that, you know, I can just see Anderson being given the job to man-mark Fabregas.
Right. That's a tough
It might
task.
be old-fashioned, but it works. Ask Steven Gerrard. Yeah, because there was this story about SCN coming into training overweight. Apparently he was carrying 13 stone extra, and then they discovered that he still has Steven Gerrard in his pocket. But I would like to think that Anderson has to do that man-marking job on Fab. You sit on Fabregas, I think you can, to some extent, cut off the supply for Arsenal.
Okay.
But it's easy now to talk about tactics. But on the day, I think Arsenal can put up a fantastic performance, and the key player will be Theo Walcott.
Okay.
I think he frightens defenses.
Well, what do you think about this, Nels? I mean, you know, before the semi-finals, we were being attacked by a tree hugger on Football Everyday.
Wow.
Oh, that's a.
I
I think that's a
concern.
decent message. Yep.
Look out for that. But Nels, mate, back to the show. Arsenal, mate. Would you have taken this draw? I mean, you know, are you happy with United?
Definitely. I think even when the draws,
rather than Barcelona,
yeah, the draw for the quarterfinals was made. You know, people were saying, it's going to be Man U, Arsenal in the semi-final.
right?
You know.
And you're happy with this the way it's panned out, right?
We've got to be, I think. And last season at this stage we got Barcelona, so I think on current form, I think we take Arsenal over Barcelona.
And how do you see the big match turning out? I mean, Arsenal have beaten United already this season, so United obviously got something to prove.
Yeah, no, we're going to beat them first in the Premier League coming soon. Yeah, but yeah, it's going to be tight, definitely. Like, you know, not easy to call a Shabby. I think it's going to be close. You're not going to see, like, you know, a 3-0 or 4-0 in either leg.
Well, quickly, we got another semi-final to talk about. Obviously, Chelsea versus Barcelona. Shep, this is a very tasty-looking battle, right?
It is, like I said, I'm surprised by Chelsea's resurgence. You know, I am sure that there's something in the tea. At Stamford Bridge, because you know they look like a different team.
I think it's some
at
Dutch
least
herb or something.
at least going forward. I think Hiddink has done a great job. We all know Hiddink's teams, you know, will always be well disciplined, tactically, defensively solid. Can I say that again after they let Liverpool score 4? No, I can't. There are weaknesses, obviously, but I do think over the 2 legs, and I hope that Barcelona win, because I think a Barcelona win will be a win for football.
Okay, fantastic. Well, guys, we're going to move away from Champions League for a bit, and obviously there's a full Premiership fixture this weekend, as well as FA Cup semi-finals to look forward to. But guys, the Prem, I guess it's all about the relegation dogfight this weekend, right? I mean, obviously United are playing the semi-finals, Arsenal, Chelsea as well. Shabby, mate, Newcastle, they're up against your Spurs. I mean, this is a must-win for those guys,
It is,
right?
it is. And I think, you know, if there is a game or an opponent that you want to play, it has to be Spurs. Nothing to play for. I mean, I love them to bits, nothing to play for. But Newcastle will have to play the way they played in the second half against Stoke City. Don't try to outpass Spurs, because we do it better than most teams. But battle against Spurs, get in their faces, you know, like Newcastle did against Stoke. They decided to play Stoke at their own game, and it worked for them. So, and you remember Christopher Samba of Blackburn gave us nightmares, and you know, Gomes was having kittens every time the ball was played. Yes, make it ugly for Newcastle if they want to win.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, right? We're gonna take a little break now. So that's the Premiership done and dusted. Relegation dogfight this weekend. When we come back, we're going to be talking to a very nice gentleman who is representing FIFPro Asia. So keep it right here on Football Everyday. We'll be right back after these messages. Hello there and welcome back to Football Everyday. Okay, we're going to take time out to talk to our very special guest, Mr. Sanjeevan Balasingham. He's the General Secretary of FIFPro Asia, and he's here to talk to us about, well, the football in general, really. All right, G.
Thank you, Zach.
Thanks for coming on the show, mate.
Welcome. Hi, Shelby.
Hey, Sanjeev, good to see you again. Right, well, as I said earlier, Sanjeevan is the General Secretary of FIFPro Asia, which begs the question, just what is FIFPro Asia all about, mate? What do you guys do?
Actually, I get that a lot, Zach, especially in Asia. FIFPro is actually the governing body of professional footballers associations. We have FIFPro globally has 57,000 members. All of them are professional footballers. So Kaká, Messi, Ronaldo, all the stars. They're all members of the players' associations in their respective countries. The oldest PFA you know is the English PFA under Gordon Taylor. Basically, what a PFA does is to look after the rights and collective interests of players, because especially in up-and-coming leagues throughout Asia, the rights and interests of players are usually down the pecking order when it comes to the importance. But as Shebi will tell you, without the players, you don't have a game. And if you look after your players, the game is all the richer for it. All the top countries in Europe and South America, they all have PFAs. So you have throughout Western Europe, you have professional footballers associations, and throughout South America as well. So if all these countries are also the same countries who are leading nations in football, be it their clubs or their national teams, so they must be doing something right. And what we're trying to do in FIFPro's Asian division is to develop more players associations throughout the continent. Right now we have Australia, Japan, New Zealand, because it's Asia and Oceania, India and Indonesia as members, and Malaysia is well on its way to becoming a candidate member. Right now Malaysia has an observer status. We're also quite advanced in our negotiations with China and South Korea. So you can tell that, you know, having Australia and Japan, they're probably the leading nations in Asian football. So having the players having a players association would actually be the third or fourth part of engaging a stakeholder within the game. So the game has the football association, the league and the clubs, and then the players. So together you've got to work in partnership to actually build the game, build a sustainable football.
Sanjeev, just a question here. I mean, yes, you've mentioned Malaysia. I think if we all know the problems we have, or the players have in these countries, unpaid salaries, contracts not being honored. Do you see Malaysia, or do you see Asia as your biggest challenge?
I wouldn't see it as a challenge, but it's more of raising awareness and actually discussing things in a negotiation sort of manner. We have the support of the FA of Malaysia. I made a presentation to the FAM Council under Tuanku Sultan of Pahang, where they endorsed the creation of an independent professional footballers association in Malaysia. This was last May. So we've been working on the process and the steps to register the association.
Okay, cool. Will you be protecting the players' rights, or are you going to be the intermediary?
We're going to be protecting the players' rights using the FIFA regulations. So right now the regulations support us, and FIFA has come out with a lot of regulations to protect players, like minimum contract requirements, a proper dispute resolution chamber whenever there are employment disputes between the players and the club. So all we are doing is working with FIFA, because FIFPro and FIFA are negotiating partners, are partners in developing the game. So basically we are spreading the message about having players associations in Asia. It's a very new concept in Asia, but it's been well received. Obviously there'll be some consternation from clubs, which is to be expected. However, what we do is to engage them and to explain to them that this is part of developing and professionalizing your game, and it's going to make the game stronger and more sustainable.
Okay, well, obviously you're in town. You know, we're rapidly running out of time, but I want to squeeze this in. You're in town for the third FIFPro Asia Congress, right? And can you quickly tell me what this Congress is all about and what you hope to achieve with this Congress?
We're going to have delegates from about 10 countries, including our member countries, as well as Korea, China, as well as the Secretary General and Assistant Secretary General of FIFPro from our headquarters in Holland.
Okay.
So imagine FIFPro as a FIFA, but for the players. And FIFPro Asia is like the Asian, like the AFC, but for the players associations.
Okay. And the Congress is taking place here?
Yeah, here in Kuala Lumpur for next Monday and Tuesday, the 20th and 21st. We are hoping to sign an MOU with certain federations, as well as develop further our progress, our activities in Asia, and see and go for the next steps towards providing a stronger footing for professional players.
Okay, fantastic, mate. I've got to cut you off there because we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we can wrap this up. And also, mate, can you stay and help us preview the FA Cup semi-finals?
Sure.
Okay, wicked. We're going to take a little break. Be right back after these messages. Hello there and welcome back to Football Everyday. Okay, I tell you what, at the top of the show I said this was a bumper edition. I don't lie. We got another guest on the show, Mr. Ross Yusof, ex-Mix FM, ex-Hits FM. All right, mate. All right. Thanks for coming on the show. But before we get into the chat with Ross, I just want to talk to our other guest, Jeev, about the third FIFPro Asia Congress, mate. It's happening on the 20th to the 21st of April, right?
Yes.
Right here in KL.
Yeah.
I just want to know, who can we expect in terms of VIPs to turn up at the Congress?
Well, we've got the, like I said, the officials, the high-ranking officials from FIFPro, as well as certain former player who's very well known in Malaysia, Alistair Edwards, used to play for Singapore in the old M
Shep
League.
will remember him, right?
Shep was marking him quite a while.
Kicked him a few times.
Kicked him a few times.
And we've also got, apart from that, a couple of other players who are now running their own professional footballers associations in their respective countries. Sadly, Baichung Bhutia, who's the president of the Indian PFA, is unable to make it because of national team duty. And we also have the vice captain to Ryan Nelson of Blackburn in the New Zealand team, Tim Brown, who plays for Wellington Phoenix. He'll be here as a delegate as well.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
I hope you guys really sort out the whole representing the players properly thing, you know?
Thanks,
yeah,
Zach.
good luck. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to move the conversation on to FA Cup semi-finals because it's an exciting weekend, this one, especially for me because Everton are involved for once in an FA Cup semi-final. Sheb, ask me an Everton question, mate.
It is. I mean, what's going to happen? Are you going to do one over your elder brother? Obviously, for all those of you watching the show, yes, Ross is Zach's elder brother, and he supports Man United. Zach is celebrating, not because Everton have won anything yet, but because Liverpool got knocked out of the Champions League. So Zach, I mean, how is Moyes going to approach this semi-final?
Well, like we do every time we play Man United, with extreme caution. Obviously, we're not going to go out there and try and out-football Man United. I think it's a case of doing what we've always done, which is to keep it tight and try and snatch something. You can expect 5 across midfield, us to try and spoil, and hopefully take our chance when we do get them, you know, against United.
Yeah. Ross, your defense has not been playing well of late.
No.
You know, and Fellaini, I describe him as being 6'12".
He is, with a hair, yeah.
I mean, he's going to be a major threat.
He's going to be a major threat, but I think United fans can take heart from the fact that the game in midweek, Champions League game, they defended. Okay, they scored early and they defended for 90 minutes. Rio Ferdinand is a calming presence coming back to the side. Vidic looks a totally different player. And before, if you asked me about this Everton tie, I would have been unsure. I think now that they've beaten Porto, they're in the semi-finals, I think they'll look at this differently, and I think United have a good chance of sweeping the board.
Yep. And Zach, any special plans for Cristiano Ronaldo?
Well, obviously we've got to stick tight to him. I mean, he's a very dangerous player, and if you give him space, he's going to run amok. So hopefully, you know, we'll get one of our... Well, Phil Neville, obviously, he's the man to do the job on Ronaldo, and yeah, I think Phil can have him in the pocket. Yeah. What do you reckon, Nels? I mean, you're looking forward to this semi-final.
Definitely got to agree with Ross, you know. I think it's at Old Trafford as well.
Yeah.
Everton definitely will give United a run for their money. I think Everton have not lost now in like what, you know, whether it's a cup tie in the league. I think they've not lost for more than 15 games if I'm not mistaken. So they're on a really, really good run. Players like Cahill, Fellaini always give you problems. You know, Joe's coming back into form as well.
Yeah, but Joe's cup tie, that's the thing.
This is Everton's cup final, isn't it?
Yeah.
The semi-final.
Yeah. And they're going to miss Saha, I think, as well, right?
Will Saha
be able to return to Old
Trafford? Classically, he's got the flu bug.
Yeah.
So, you know, but we'll see.
Sanjeev, as a neutral, Arsenal, Chelsea in the other semi-final. Obviously, if you had to pick the two finalists, who would your pick be and why?
It's too hard to say. The form book goes out the window in matches like this. I mean, one London derby and the other two teams that know each other very well. And there's a lot of history among teams. It's hard to pick. I mean, you could pick anyone. It's just that among the 4 teams, Everton has the most rest. So they'd be fired up, they'd be well rested. The other side, it's anybody's call. It's probably going to go down to some refereeing decision or some blunder at the back that would decide the matches.
I've got to agree with Ross on the fact that, you know, 3 out of the 4 semi-finalists this weekend have also made it to the Champions League semi-finals. You know, everything to play for.
I think they'll be buoyant, isn't it? You know, you come into a semi-final in the right mood, you know. Zach, if you had to make a score prediction.
Well, I tell you what, right, we're running out of time.
And it is at Wembley, so it is extra time and it's penalty.
My score prediction is probably going to be, we're going to need another game to settle this. So it's going to be a draw this weekend, do it all over again, Everton to win by ugly penalty.
There's no draw, there's no replay.
It's extra time.
Oh, in that case, Everton to win by ugly penalty.
They're both at Wembley.
Well, lads, I tell you what, right, we've had a lot of fun. We could do this for another 15 minutes, but alas, we run out of time. So thank you very much for coming on the show. Chief, Ross, this is Football Every Day. Until next week, goodbye.